Hello, I'm Violin GM. I would like to share with you a few thoughts when it comes to the use of shoulder rests. There are some people out there that say that you should not play with shoulder rests under any circumstances or under any conditions. And I certainly do believe that there's some merit to that. If you play without a shoulder rest, I do believe that it's easier for the bow to sink into the string because the violin is slightly lower. So it can be very beneficial for tone production. Also, because you have nothing here, it can also increase flexibility. You can easily feel more relaxed with the instrument, and it somehow increases your connection with the instrument also, because there's nothing between the instrument and you except for, of course, the clothes that you're wearing. Honestly, it can also be very good for tone production, because when you don't have anything clamping on here, it frees up the violin more, and the sound becomes freer. So there's definitely merits to not using the shoulder rests. However, some people, especially people like me that have a long neck, the shoulder rests can have a lot of benefits too, let's say. One of the benefits is that it provides stability. That's probably the greatest benefit. It makes shifting easier, it makes intonation easier, and it can make you much more comfortable. If you decide to use a shoulder rest, however, I recommend really taking the time to try different shoulder rests and find the one that's most comfortable for you. These days they make 15 to 20 different kinds of shoulder rests. Some are good for some people, some are bad for some people. It just depends upon the way that you're built. I would also recommend having somebody help you pick out a shoulder rest, such as a teacher or even a neighbor or a friend, somebody that can just observe you and make sure that you're not raising your shoulder and that you look as natural as possible when trying the shoulder rest on. Ideally, it should help to fill up the distance between your collarbone and your chin. So in my case, if I just put the violin there, I have all this distance there, that if I didn't have a shoulder rest, I would have to clamp down with my head, and that creates a lot of tension in my neck. So I need something. So I found, for me, a shoulder rest like this that's relatively high helps reduce that distance and helps reduce the tension in my neck and helps me feel much freer when I shift. However, if you have a shorter neck, you will want a shorter distance, and also the shape of the shoulder rest will vary depending upon how your shoulder is built.